So kids, today we are going to talk about parts of speech. Like whatever you take in the universe, everything has certain parts. What what it is, what you are able to see on the screen right now. It's a robot. Why you are calling it as a robot? Because you are able to see the robot as a whole, okay? But it is made up of different parts. How? Let us see. Robot is made up of different parts like head, chest, fingers, hand, abdomen, arm, leg. Okay. If I give you only this part, hand, leaving apart rest of the body, head or chest or anything, what do you call it as? You can't call it as anything, right? You don't even understand it is a part of what particular kind of product or a thing or a human. If I give you only the chest part of it, what do you consider it as? What do you call it as? You will call it as, it might be some डब्बा. Okay, ये कुछ बॉक्स जैसा है और मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ये किस चीज का है, right? We always think like that, and that's true also. So if we are not having, if something is not associated with something else, then that doesn't give any meaning. Okay, exactly in the same passion for any language. If you want to understand a language or if you want to communicate something in a certain language or any particular language, you need to use different parts of a speech. Only then that will be considered as a language, and that will be a people with whom you are talking to will be able to understand what exactly you are talking about. Okay, so as this robot has different parts, the speech will also have a different parts in it. So the parts of speech in English are noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection. Okay, you might be wondering how many parts are there. Okay, these are the 8 parts of speech are there in any language. Basically in English we use 8 parts of speech. Okay, knowingly or unknowingly you might be using all of these, but today we are going to understand what is noun, what is pronoun, what is adjective, what is verb, what is adverb, what is preposition, what is conjunction and what is interjection. First of all, you need to understand what are the parts of speech and how many parts of speech are there. So I'm repeating once again, there are 8 parts of speech in English language, and they are noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection. Okay, so now let's understand in depth about each one of these components. What is noun? Noun is a name of everything that you can see, touch and feel. In your day-to-day life, whatever you can see, you can call it with some name. Okay, it can be trees, it can be anything. Whatever you can touch or whatever you can feel. For example, scare. Scare is a feeling. I'm scared of lion. Okay, scare is a feeling, but you have a meaning to that. I'm feeling sad. Sad is a feeling, but you have a name to that. I'm really happy. Happy is again a feeling, right? So like that, let us see some of the examples with some more detail. Okay, people. Okay, person. It is a name of, it can be a name of a person, it can be a name of a place, it can be a name of a thing. Okay, person includes almost everybody. It might be your parents, siblings, it might be your friends, family members, or your teacher, your neighbors, anybody. Okay, so you can consider any individual person you meet in your life on day-to-day basis, that person's name, or he or she or it. Okay, this is called as noun. Okay, ideally he, she, it, that comes in pronoun, but if you are calling somebody with his or her name, that name is a noun. And place, when I call it as a place, you can consider the name of the place. Okay, for example, I live in Bangalore. Bangalore is a noun. I live in Rajajinagar. Rajajinagar is again a noun. Okay, and then if I talk about the things, then whatever you can see and touch in your day-to-day life in your own home, it can be sofa, it can be chair, it can be tipper, it can be lights, it can be Bookshelf, it can be book, it can be flower pots, anything, even your pets, or for that sake any other animal. Okay, these comes under noun when you call them as with certain name. Okay, so these are the examples of noun. And apart from this, as I said, feelings. You might be wondering, you might be scared, you might be happy, you might be feeling really funny. Whatever feeling you have, all the feelings I just mentioned about has certain name. Okay, that's the reason why they are called as nouns. Next, just look at what is pronoun now. Let's understand the pronoun. Pronoun replaces noun to avoid repetition in any conversation. What do I mean by that? If I start using noun every time in the sentence, then it looks awkward. That's why we need not have to use the same word in the sentence repeatedly. So that's why we use pronoun to replace the noun. You might not be understanding right now, but the example I'm going to show you, with that you'll be definitely able to understand it. Okay, let's see. Now I have written one sentence here, and this sentence says Viresh had gone for a trip to Matheran. Viresh and Viresh's friends went in Viresh's car, and Viresh enjoyed a lot in Matheran trip as Viresh loves rain. Okay, here I have Viresh is a noun. Okay, Matheran is again a noun. Okay, because it is the name of a person. Viresh is the name of a person, and Matheran is again a name of a place. Viresh had gone for a trip to Matheran. So there are two nouns in it. Again I am using Viresh and Viresh's friends. Again, two more times I have used noun. Went in Viresh's car. Whose car it is? Viresh's car. Again a noun. And car. Car, it is a noun. It is my gadget, right? It is my toy, or it is my vehicle. It is the thing which I am touching or which I am using. So car is again a noun here. And Viresh enjoyed a lot in Matheran trip as Viresh loves rain. Rain, again we call it as rain is coming. It is coming. It is still raining, right? So rain is again a noun here. Now let's see the repetition of Viresh, Viresh's car, Viresh friends. Okay, the entire sentence looks a little bit awkward. Like Viresh had gone for a trip to Matheran. Viresh and Viresh's friends went in Viresh's car, and Viresh enjoyed a lot in Matheran trip as Viresh loves rain. So this looks literally awkward, right? So how can we improvise this? How to make it more attractive, or how to make it more convincing? Do we really talk like this? Never, right? So if we want to talk something about this, or if we have to say something with respect to this particular sentence, then we can rephrase it as Viresh had gone for a trip to Matheran. He and his friends went in his car, and he enjoyed a lot in this trip as he loves rain. Okay, now just see what I have replaced here in the above sentence. Wherever I have highlighted it with orange color, those are the pronouns. Okay, Viresh had gone for a trip to Matheran. I have kept the same sentence here. Secondly, I have replaced the next noun Viresh with he and his friends. I said Viresh and Viresh's friends. Instead of that, I used he and his friends. In Viresh's car, I have written it as in his car. And Viresh enjoyed a lot. Okay, and I mentioned and he enjoyed a lot in this trip. Instead of saying in Matheran trip, I said in this trip. Okay, so here he, his, he, this. Okay, all these are pronouns. These are the words which are replacing noun and making sentence more beautiful or more convincing or easy to communicate. Okay, let us see one more example. Shravani started learning English grammar in Creative Kids Network group. Shravani found English grammar course very interesting, and Shravani told about English grammar course conducted by CKN, stands for Creative Kids Network. So I have written a short form here. Um, Shravani told about English grammar course conducted by CKN, and since then Shravani and Shravani's friends joined CKN. Here let us see what are the nouns available in this sentence. Shravani is a name of a girl. Okay, so this is a noun. English grammar, what you are learning? I'm learning English grammar, so English grammar is again a noun. In Creative Kids Network, Creative Kids Network is a group or a platform, so it is also a noun. Shravani found English grammar course. Shravani and English grammar course, again nouns. Very interesting. And Shravani told about English grammar course. Okay, Shravani and English grammar course, again it got repeated here. Conducted by CKN, again noun. Okay, so since then Shravani and Shravani's friends, again noun. Joined CKN. Okay, so now let us see how we can rephrase this entire sentence by using pronouns. Shravani started learning English grammar in Creative Kids Network group. She found this course very interesting and she told about this course conducted by CKN, and since then she and her friends joined CKN. Okay, it is making sense now. It is looking very much convincing and easy to communicate. I have replaced most of the pronouns in the second part of the sentence by I have replaced most of the nouns by using pronouns. Okay, so like this you can replace the nouns by pronouns to make the sentence more attractive, convincing and easy to communicate. Now let us see what are the different types of pronouns are there. Okay, there are two types of pronouns. One is subject pronoun, the other one is object pronoun. What do I mean by that? When I call it as subject pronoun, instead of using Viresh had been there, I can say I had been there if I'm talking about myself. Instead of using myself, my mama, my papa and Rohan or Shaheen, okay, instead of taking everybody's name, you can call it as we, right? If we are talking about something, let us say we all had been to a picnic. How do you tell about that? So you can call everything, you can use these subject pronouns to describe about whatever we want to communicate. I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Okay, what are objective pronoun on the contrary? Let us see that. Okay, this is if somebody asks you who has done this, you can say I have done this, or we have done this, or he has done this, or she has done this, it has done this, or they have done this. If you ask upon whom it has been done, okay, for example, we had been to Matharan. Okay, Viresh and his friends went to Matharan. Instead of that, you can say, instead of that, I can say, I had been to Matharan and we enjoyed a lot, right? So if I say the sentence like this, then in this particular sentence, we means we are doing something, and then where? Matharan, right? It, okay, that is object. So it might be a little confusing right now, but it will get clear once you start using the sentences. No need to worry about that. Okay, so let us see these examples. I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Okay, if it is a single person, we can call it as I, and if you are talking about more than two people, then we call it as we, and then if you are addressing somebody, then you can call it as you. Okay, so this makes your sentence more convincing, and once you start using all these pronouns, then you can frame your sentence in a little more attractive way. Okay, now let us see what is adjective. Adjective gives information about noun and pronoun. How? Let us see this example. I'm taking an example of a school trip here. Okay, I'm mentioning it as, I'm talking something about they went to school trip in a yellow luxury air conditioned bus. Okay, so let us say in this entire sentence, bus is a noun here. We are interested in noun. Okay, bus, it. Okay, this is a noun. Now, what are the different words that are giving information about this bus now? Okay, let's ask some questions. What color the bus is? Yellow. Okay, so yellow. This question, whenever you get an answer for certain question, that means you are getting an option, I mean opinion or the answer for certain question about that particular noun. We are talking about bus now, right? So what color the bus is? Yellow. How was it? It was a luxury bus. And then what kind of bus it is? It is an air conditioned bus. Okay, so if we look at this particular example, all these questions and all these answers are related to bus. The answers of these particular questions tell you or give you the information about the noun here. Okay, see in this sentence, yellow. Okay, yellow gives the answer to what color? Luxury gives the answer to how was it, and what type? It's an air conditioned bus. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Adjective gives information about noun and pronoun. In this sentence, they went to school trip in a yellow luxury air conditioned bus. Bus is a noun and yellow luxury air conditioned are the adjectives which are giving information about this bus. Okay, next, what is verb? This is the most important part of the grammar, because this describes, word describes the actions. Okay, verb is a word that shows an action or a state. Okay, let us see how. Whatever the things we do in day-to-day life or at home, like washing your clothes, drying your clothes, ironing your clothes, gardening, watering the to the plants, or cleaning, brushing, or going to school, walking, sleeping, eating, okay, or pressing, anything that you do in your day-to-day life relates to the verb. That every action or a state, I'll talk about state in a little while, but let's focus upon action now. Whatever you do, I got up early in the morning, so getting up is a verb. I'm attending this class is a verb. Okay, because even though you are sitting quiet, but you are attending, so that shows an action. If you are moving here and there, and if my attention is getting diverted, diversion is an action. I'm conducting this class, conduct, this is a verb. Okay, so state. So let us see an example of action first. We have already seen the pictorial examples of this. Now let's see. Nikita is reading a book. It represents action. Reading is an action, because what Nikita is doing? Nikita is reading a book. Okay, so reading shows an action. Now let us see an example for state. Nikita's mom is a housewife. What Nikita's mom is? Then the answer would be housewife. Okay, that is a state. Again, that is a verb. So don't get confused how it can be a verb when it is not showing any action. So being in a particular state also shows that it is a verb. Okay, now let us say, I'll give you one more example. Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev are the real freedom fighters of India. Okay, freedom fighters, that is a state. We have tagged them. Okay, they are in the freedom movement and they are fighting for our country. So these are the gentlemen who are the real freedom fighters, I'm saying. Okay, so just try to understand this particular concept. They are in a state of freedom fighting movement. So that's state. Okay, my dad is a teacher. That is again a state. Okay, so this is all about verb. You need to focus on only two things here. One, a verb is a word that shows an action or a state. So I've given you two examples, one with an action, the other one with a state. Now let's look at adverb. What is adverb? It's me. You're seeing my picture here. It's me in the middle and they are my friends. Okay. And this is the picture of Matheran, where we had been for a trip. Now let us take this example and let me help you understand what is adverb. So what is adverb? Adverb is a word that gives an answer to what, when, how, where, why. Okay. So if I have to make you understand about how adverb works, so let us take this example. Viresh had gone for a trip to Mathiran in rainy season with his friends and in his car. Okay. Now in this particular sentence, let's try to understand which are the adverbs I'm using. If I ask a question like, with whom Viresh had gone for a trip? His friends. Okay. His friends is an adverb here. And where? Trip. Okay. Where he had been? He had been to a trip. This is an adverb. Okay. And when he had been to a trip? In rainy season. Okay. And if somebody asks how they had been to a trip, then you might say in his car. Okay. So if my friend is talking to someone, let us say my friend is explaining about our trip to somebody else, what he would say? They will ask, okay, Viresh had gone for a trip to Matharan, or else my parents are telling about our trip to somebody else or to our neighbors. So in that case, Viresh had gone for a trip to Matharan in rainy season with his friends in his car. Then the neighbor might ask with whom he had been to a trip. Then the answer would be with his friends. Where he had been, where he had been. He had been to a trip. Okay. When he had been to the trip in a rainy season. Okay. And how did they go? The answer would be in his car. So these are some of the adverbs which supports, okay, or answers to the certain questions. The questions are not directly visible here, but if somebody asks the questions, then we can take out some of the words from the same sentence and that can be an answer. So you need not have to use them individually. You'll not use them individually anywhere, but we need to club all of them to make a proper sentence. Just like the hand of a robot, abdomen of a robot, chest of a robot. Okay. Now let us see the next component or next parts of speech. Preposition. What is preposition? Preposition shows, there is a small mistake in this. Preposition shows, it should be shows relation among time, place and position. Okay. Let us take again an example of a school bus this time, not the trip, school bus. I go to school in a bus at 7 a.m. in the morning and bus drops us to the school before the prayer. A very simple sentence, right? I go to school in a bus at 7 a.m. in the morning and bus drops us to the school before the prayer. The words which I have highlighted with orange color in this sentence are the prepositions. How? I go to school in a bus at. At talks about time. Okay. Preposition shows relation among time. So the bus at 7 a.m. that means it is talking about time. In the morning, again time. Okay. And bus drops us to the school before the prayer. Okay. So position, all those things comes into picture. Now examples of preposition are before, after, in, on, at, by, with, from. You can frame different sentences using these prepositions, or whatever the sentences you might have written already in the last assignment. You can correlate and you can check out what are the prepositions you have used in them. Okay, definitely you'll be able to figure out at least 5 prepositions you might have used. It's very simple, guys. Okay. Next, let's look at what is conjunction. Conjunction connects sentences, thoughts, or ideas. Let us see how. I've given a simple but the most powerful image here. A cat looking in the mirror, thinking itself as a lion. Okay? I would like to tell you something about your own self. Never underestimate yourself, because you have all the power to achieve that you can dream about. No matter what the world is thinking about you, but if you are conscious about who you are and what is your power, then nobody can beat you. So never ever underestimate yourself. Never ever think that somebody else is superior than me. Never ever think that I'm not as intelligent as the other students in the class. Never ever think that I'm not as powerful as my neighbors or anybody else around you. It's just a matter of practice. If you practice well, if you be consistent in putting in the efforts, then nobody can beat you. You can become the best in whatever you want to do, and you have all the potential to achieve almost everything in life. Okay, so you yourself doesn't know your true potential. So coming back to the conjunction, what is the conjunction here? Here, never underestimate yourself is one sentence, and the next sentence is you have all the power to achieve that you can dream about. So because is connecting the first and second sentence. So that's why this is conjunction. You might have heard a word, railway junction. What do you mean by railway junction? Junction is a place where it is getting connected from one place to the other place. Okay, so there are major junctions of railways across the country. Bangalore is a major junction. Trains coming from different cities are coming to Bangalore Majestic Junction, and from there it is going to somewhere else. CST, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Junction. Okay, it's in Mumbai. So in that junction, from every corner of the city, the trains are coming in and getting departed to some other places. So which is the junction here? The junction is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus. Okay, so like this. If I have to take one example of any train coming from, okay, I boarded the train from Kalyan and reached to the CST junction, and from there I had been to Andheri. Okay, there are no trains directly from Kalyan to Andheri. If I say, then what is the junction? I got down at the CST junction and boarded the Andheri train. Okay, I'm talking about the local trains in Mumbai. I've given you a simple example. Let's take a second example. Viresh teaches grammar to children because he loves teaching. So he spends most of his time with kids. Okay. In the second example, I'm using two conjunctions here. One, because, and the second one is so. Okay. These two words are connecting three sentences. Viresh teaches grammar to children. This is one sentence. He loves teaching. Second sentence. He spends most of his time with kids. Third sentence. Okay. So these are something. These three sentences are getting connected with one another by using these two conjunctions. So let us take the next parts of speech. That is interjection. What is interjection? Let us see. Words that has no meaning but show some emotions. Okay. Wow, the genie is unbelievable. Whenever you something which is really beautiful, you exclaim like, wow, this is amazing. Whenever somebody gives you a surprise gift, you might say, wow, that's awesome, right? So words which you utter has no meaning, but definitely those express some feeling. Those are called as interjections. Let us take one more example. Hey, how is your health now? If your friend is not feeling well, and if he comes in front of you, or if you go to meet him, what do you say? Hey, how is your health now? So, hey, does it have any meaning? No, but you are addressing it to your friend, right? But it has a feeling. When you say hey, that means either you care for him, or you know him, or you might not know him, right? So it shows some feeling, some kind of feeling. Based on the tonal variation itself, people can understand what kind of feeling you are having right now. For example, if you go to your friend and if you say, hey, how is your health now? Or else, if you go to somebody and say, hey, what the hell are you doing? You are using the same word, but the feeling is getting showcased based on the tonal variation, based on the accent you are using, right? Based on the pitch of your voice. So that's why never ever get confused with which kind of words are getting associated with what kind of feelings. These words have no meaning. Based on your behavior, based on your tonal variation, based on your pitch of the speech, the feeling varies. Okay, let us take the next example. Hi, I'm Viresh, and you? I'm asking you a question here. Hi, I'm Viresh. I'm introducing about myself, and I'm asking again, and you? Right? So verb, hey, and hi are the interjection here. Finally, I have really? Is Genie that cool? I'm using one more interjection here. Is there any meaning to Or else, whenever your parents scold you, did you do your homework? You might say yes or right? So is a word, but that has no meaning. But definitely it shows some feeling. A feeling of yes, I'm done with it. Right? Or else, if somebody says suspicious, okay, let us say if you complete your homework today, then I'll gift you a car. Then you might say okay, it becomes very very suspicious. In that case also you are using so what does that mean? That means the same sentence, the same interjection is being used for two different situations. Okay, that's why never ever get hooked upon the meaning of that word, because it has no meaning. So just to recap, we have covered the parts of speech today. Okay, this is the most important topic in the English grammar, because to formulate or to create any sentence or to talk in any language, we need these parts of speech. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are using these parts of speech, but here on you will use all the parts of speech with utmost consciousness. So just to tell you about, if I have to call it as a robot, we have different parts in it, and all the parts should be interconnected with each other. Only then this will be called as robot. Similarly, we have these parts in English language to form a sentence. Only then it will be called as a sentence, a sensible sentence. Otherwise, every word will remain as a word. Okay, it will not give any meaning. We cannot form sentences without using these parts of speech. Okay, so we have seen the examples of each of the components and each of the parts of speech, and now we are heading towards today's assignment. So what is today's assignment? So your second assignment is, you have to write 10 sentences and circle the parts of speech in each of the sentences, and circle the parts of speech in each of the sentences. I've repeated it, I'll change it. Write down what kind of parts of speech it is. Sorry guys, in hurry, I think. Just circle the parts of speech in each of the sentences. As we know, there are we spoke about 8 parts of speech now. Okay, if you are taking one particular sentence, like we have used some sentences yesterday, you are, all of you have given some sentences, written some sentences yesterday, right? So you can take out the same sentences. Never underestimate, or okay, let's go for this. I go to school in a bus at 7 a.m. in the morning, and bus drops us to the school before the prayer. This is one sentence. This is one complete sentence. Now I want to write what are the nouns in this. Okay, I'm talking about only noun. Okay, I want you to identify which are the nouns in this particular sentence. So like this, you need to take out two different sentences, and then in those two different sentences you have to mention only about noun. Okay, in this sentence, I is a noun, school is a noun, bus is a noun, school, and prayer is a noun. Okay, so you need to write down noun, and then you need to pick up all the, what I can say, all the nouns from that sentence, and then go to the next sentence and do the same thing. And next, which is the parts of speech, pronoun. Now take two more sentences and pick out only pronouns from that sentence. Okay, like that you can complete your assignment and then send it across. Whenever you write something, how to pick them out? Okay, just write pronoun. I'm mentioning something about pronoun, and let us say you have taken two sentences of any of the two sentences, and then you are trying to circle the pronouns in that sentence. Okay, like he, his, it, they, she. Okay, just circle them.